Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news. When you think about the Atlanta Falcons and their recent trajectory, it's impossible not to feel the buzz of anticipation in the air. The NFC South has been a battleground for years, with teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, New Orleans Saints, and Carolina Panthers all vying for supremacy. But it seems like we might be on the verge of a significant shakeup, something that could propel the Falcons into a new era of competitiveness and potentially reshape the division. And at the heart of this story is the quarterback position, which has been a topic of heated debate and strategic planning for quite some time now. We've seen the Falcons make some bold moves this offseason, and the latest developments surrounding their quarterback situation could be the key to unlocking their full potential in the upcoming 2025 season. Now, let's talk about what's really been happening behind the scenes. The Falcons entered the offseason knowing that their quarterback situation was a bit of a puzzle. On one side, they have Michael Penix Jr., a young, talented quarterback who has shown flashes of brilliance during his college career at Washington and has been developing steadily in the NFL. Penix, despite being relatively new to the league, has already gained the trust of the coaching staff and is seen as the franchise's future. His arm talent, mobility, and football IQ make him a natural leader on the field. But on the other hand, the Falcons also had Kirk Cousins, a veteran quarterback with a proven track record, who was brought in with the idea that he could serve as a reliable backup mentor and possibly even a bridge to the future if needed. And here's where things get really interesting. As the 2024 season drew to a close, it became clear that Cousins had lost his starting job late in the year, but his contract was still intact, with 3 more seasons on the books, making him a valuable but complicated asset. The Falcons, however, have been very clear in their stance. Their priority now is to trade Cousins and free up salary cap space, especially now that the June 1 deadline has passed. For those of you who follow NFL salary cap intricacies, you know that this is a crucial deadline that often makes trades more financially feasible. After June 1, teams can move players like Cousins and better manage their cap hits, which in this case means the Falcons can shed some of the hefty salary owed to Cousins, $27.5 million for this upcoming season, though they will still have to absorb a dead cap hit of around $12.5 million. The NFL.com feature on offseason priorities made it clear that Atlanta's #1 goal is to move Cousins. It's a strategic move designed to give the team more flexibility, especially as they prepare for the 2025 season. The Falcons are taking a patient approach, waiting for the right team that might find itself in a pinch, desperate enough to trade for a veteran like Cousins. The idea is to let the market develop while maintaining their stance that Penix is their guy now and into the future. The coaching staff and front office have publicly expressed confidence in Penix's ability to lead the team, and they're willing to wait it out even if Cousins remains on the roster into training camp. But of course, there's always that underlying question about how this situation might play out on the field. Imagine the scenario: if Kirk Cousins stays on the roster into the summer, what kind of distraction could that become? It's no secret that his absence from the OTAs last spring stirred up some chatter. Fans and analysts alike started speculating about his status, and now with the possibility of a trade looming, that chatter could amplify. The Falcons are all in on Penix, no doubt about it. They've invested in his development and see him as the future. But at the same time, having a veteran like Cousins around as a backup and potentially a mentor could be beneficial, at least in theory. Still, there's that delicate balancing act. If Cousins is still around during training camp, some might wonder about the locker room chemistry, leadership dynamics, and the overall focus of the team. Now, why is this trade talk so critical? Well, once the June 1 deadline has passed, the Falcons can move Cousins and actually start to see some financial relief. Sure, they might still need to eat some of his contract, but the biggest benefit is that the team acquiring Cousins would take on his $27.5 million salary, which is a significant factor for any team trying to strengthen their QB room without breaking the bank. For the Falcons, this means they can allocate those funds elsewhere, maybe to add more weapons, upgrade their defense, or bolster their offensive line. And speaking of potential landing spots, the most logical destination right now appears to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. Remember, the Steelers were initially expected to sign veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers, which would have been a massive move, but now with Rodgers' deal seemingly delayed or possibly falling through, the door opens for other options. Cousins could fit perfectly into the Steelers' plans as a bridge quarterback, especially considering their current roster and their desire to contend now. The Steelers have a solid defense, a promising young offense, and a coaching staff that's known for maximizing their players' potential. Adding Cousins could give them stability at the quarterback position while they develop their younger talent. And there's also speculation about a return to Minnesota, where Cousins played for several seasons. The Vikings have J.J. McCarthy, a former top 10 pick, but he's yet to see the field in an NFL game. Cousins could be a stopgap, a veteran presence to help groom the young quarterback while giving the Vikings a familiar face under center for at least one more season. However, with the Vikings making some moves in the offseason, including adding new quarterbacks and depth pieces, it's less clear whether that reunion will happen. The Browns have also been mentioned as a possible landing spot, especially after acquiring 4 quarterbacks in recent months: Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders, though that seems less likely now given their current roster composition. But let's not forget the bigger picture here. The Falcons, with their young core and strategic offseason moves, are positioning themselves to be serious contenders in the NFC South. Their defense is improving, with key additions in the secondary and front seven, and their offensive weapons, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan Robinson, are all primed to make a significant impact. The development of Penix Jr. is crucial because if he can take a step forward, the Falcons could have a dynamic and efficient passing attack. And of course, having a solid quarterback behind him, whether it's Cousins or someone else, adds that extra layer of security. But what really makes this situation intriguing is the potential domino effect. If Atlanta manages to trade Cousins successfully, it could free up cap space for other offseason moves, whether that's drafting a premier player, signing a free agent, or making a trade for a star. It also sends a message to the division and the league. The Falcons are serious about contending now, and they're willing to make bold moves to get there. The NFC South is wide open, especially with teams like Tampa Bay and New Orleans in flux, and the Falcons have an opportunity to seize control if everything falls into place. And let's take a quick look at the history of the Falcons in the context of quarterback decisions. The franchise has always been a team that's willing to take risks, whether it was drafting Michael Vick, trading for Matt Ryan, or now trying to find that perfect balance between youth and experience at the quarterback position. These decisions are always critical because they set the tone for the team's future. If Penix develops as expected and Atlanta can make a smart trade for Cousins or another veteran, they could be looking at a very bright future. The goal isn't just to compete, it's to win championships, and the right quarterback situation is central to that ambition. Looking ahead, the upcoming training camp will be a fascinating period. Will Cousins be part of it, or will the Falcons have already moved him by then? How will Penix handle the pressure if he faces early struggles? And what other moves will Atlanta make to strengthen their roster around their quarterback? All these questions add to the excitement of this offseason and make it one of the most interesting for Falcons fans in recent memory. The team's front office has shown patience and strategic thinking, and now the next big step might be a trade that could define their season. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. Do you think they should trade Cousins? Do you believe Penix is ready to lead the team into the playoffs? Or do you think a different veteran should be brought in? Remember, this is your team, and your voice helps shape the conversation. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Atlanta Falcons news. We're heading into an exciting chapter, and every move counts. Thanks for being here, and as always, let's keep the Falcons' spirit alive and strong.